experience and what really happened between you and Matt Hughes when you guys fought in Abu Dhabi?
Come on now. Really? You're going to make me break the silence on that one?
It's been 2025. Well, the bottom line is that with the Henzo thing that happened afterwards, they kind of went up to it. Take us through it.
Well, so here's what happened. Matt and I both go to Abu Dhabi. And when we got there, I was signed up for, I forget, like the 215-pound class. And Matt was supposed to be, at the time, he should have been in the 170 class. But when he signed up, they told him that bracket was full. So they said they'd bump him up to 185. So when we get there, he's in my bracket. He's at 215. They bumped him up 2 classes. And so we go to the guys that are running it, and you guys know how that is. They did whatever they wanted. They don't care about,
Yeah, Miguel was one of them. Yeah.
We're like, hey guys, we agreed to go up 1 weight class, but you have him up 2. He's in my weight class. Can you guys put him in 185? We're like, no, sorry, brackets are full. And I'm like, well, okay, you've also put him on my end of the bracket. Can you at least put him on the other end so that we'll meet in the finals if we meet? And they're like, no, brackets are set. It is what it is. We're like, well, fuck, guys. Here's my training partner that's up 2 weight classes. No. And I'm supposed to face him second round. Like, come on,
Jeremy, guys. Jeremy, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you went about this all wrong. So go ahead. You started with naivety. All right, so go ahead. I apologize. So go ahead.
No. So
it sounds like you did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, we tried. And they're like, look, no, we're not going to move you. He's up 2 weight classes. We don't care. It is what it is. The brackets are set. Shut up and go. Yeah. So we're like, all right, well, I guess we have to do it. So
flip a coin.
Yeah. Well, so we're looking at the brackets, and back then wrestling was very dominant in ADCC. If you got takedowns, you won. So Matt is obviously a better wrestler than me. So we're looking at it, and so we both win our first match. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And we're looking at the bracket. Whoever won our match was gonna fight Tito. And we're thinking, well, this is a wrestling match. Matt is way better suited to wrestle Tito than I am. Tito would take me down and hold me down pretty easily, I think, in a grappling match. So we decided that it would probably be better for Matt to go on. And then Matt Hume, who was kind of running things, comes up to us and kind of on the sly says, hey guys, just so you know, they're giving a $2,500 bonus for the best throw of the match and a $2,500 bonus for fastest submission of the match.
What a good dude. That's a friend. That's a friend.
So Hughes and I are like, well,
we'll do both.
Let's do it. Yeah, fuck them. They're going to screw us. If they put us on opposite ends of the bracket, we would go at it for the finals. There's no reason for that, but you won't concede anything. You put him up 2 weight classes incorrectly. You put us on the same end of the bracket incorrectly.
Now they're asking you to be righteous about the situation.
Right. Yeah. We're going to make some fucking money. So yes, we decided now we're going to get the best. We're going to get the best throw and fastest submission, and obviously, and then Henzo's guy got a faster submission.
I think Henzo actually submitted Feitosa with like a guillotine instantaneous.
In like 3 seconds or something. It was like tap go submission. What? Yeah, you can't beat that.
So you know what? Who did the submission first? Was it you?
No, they did. Horn and Hughes had it. The kind of word spread.
So you know what they did, Jeremy? They sat there and they go, "Wow, we're not going to get both. We just got to do this real quick." That's it.
Well, so here even more. So it's funny. So the referee says go. I right away from like an over-under clinch, I push into Matt really hard, which is a perfect setup for a nice clean belly to belly, right? So he launches me. I roll up, he puts me in a guillotine, and I tap. And so obviously, I'm standing afterwards. I can't even look up. I'm smirking. I'm trying to hide my face because everybody knew. We go walking back, and the other competitors were laughing at us. They all knew. And then afterwards, they're trying to decide who gets the best throw of the match. And Josh Barnett is there, and I think it's when Mark Kerr threw him. And so they were arguing. It's funny. I shouldn't say it, but it's funny as hell. So they're arguing about it and trying to decide whose throw is better, who should get best throw of the match. And Josh Barnett goes, "Well, our fucking throw was real. He actually threw me."
and June 26th, 2000, Pancrase 84, where you're fighting in gloves and shin pads against Daisuke Ishii. Miguel, if this was a math test, I'm acing this so far, brother. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Ishii. Yeah. So that was the one where they said, okay, we're coming up with weight classes. I said, cool, this is for me, man. I'm gonna do well in this tournament. And my manager, I show up there and I found out she put me in the wrong weight class. She put me in like it was a weight class above me in kilos. It would have probably been 187 pounds. And I remember we were like, Jason was furious. He was like, Phyllis, what are you doing? Chris doesn't weigh that. He's a 170 pounder. She goes, he told me he weighed 191. I go, dude, that was 2 years ago. It's like, I just said that to get in. I was like, you don't know what I mean, this is the funniest, man. So I go to weigh in and they're talking and they go, you don't weigh enough. Well, what do you mean? They go,
did you say, who, me?
I said, what do you mean? No, you're allowed to weigh under. You just can't weigh over. I'm trying to explain the rules to them. Like, they're speaking in Japanese. No, you must weigh over. Like, my other one was like 77 kilos, the one I should have been in. Now I wasn't quite there. I was even under on that weight class. And they're like, you got to weigh more than that. I go, okay, what do I do? They go upstairs and start eating. So I go upstairs and I'm drinking all this stuff and I'm eating the Chunko and that's just drinks. I come back down, I'm still like 2 pounds under. I'm like, Jesus, I'm going to do this. So I remember Phyllis gives me like a big bag that she has full of like yen and all these like change. And I go and I put my shorts on, I put my cup on, and I put the change in the cup. So when it comes time to weigh in, I'm walking, it's like ching, ching. You can like hear the chains rattle as I walk up the scale. I get on the scale and I like barely make weight. And then they're talking. They make a rule after that you can't wear your shorts and stuff. You have to just wear. So I made them make another rule, but I made weight to get up enough to make weight to get in.
Speaking of Jeremy Horn, I think, Monty, you've been around every imaginable block in the sport of MMA. We've also, everybody in this room has seen a fake fight or two. So Jeremy actually was the referee.
There are fake fights?
Pardon me?
There are fake fights?
Exactly. From what I understand. If I had to pick one where Jeremy Horn was the referee, I'm going Brad Kohler versus Dan Severn.
Or you could go Brad Kohler versus someone else or Brad Kohler versus someone else.
He's my favorite promoter, man.
There is a common denominator, But I think the giveaway for me is when Brad gets a guy's shoes under his armpits and spins him in a circle and then throws him. That's always kind of a giveaway to me. That I don't think that's an easy move to make if you don't want to get caught.
A tough one. We go over that all the time in my gym. It's hard to get though. Very rare.
Yeah, those are tough. And the one down in Ohio with Severn and Kohler was not meant to be a work. I promoted pretty heavily that Severn was going to be there and be the main event. He was a pretty big name then. It was still back when he was fighting, and something, I'm trying to remember the circumstances. Something happened. He came to me and he wasn't going to be able to fight. It was something like that. I think I'm right. Something happened. And they approached me about doing a fake fight. At that point, I'd never done one. Seriously, never done one. And I thought,
still haven't.
Yeah, and I still haven't. And so I don't know. I was like, I felt like I was caught. Like, what are you going to do? And they both convinced me, we will make this look real. No one will know. I go, I don't want anyone to know. I'm not telling Jeremy, the ref. I'm nobody. I don't even know about this. And so they go out and it's a pretty good fake. It's pretty good. And you will have people, I saw it online, you have people saying, I was ringside, and I guarantee that was real. I mean, and there were just as many as people going, I don't know. But in the beginning, Jeremy's just reffing. Everything's fine. He's watching. And then there's some ridiculous move where like Kohler shoots in, picks up Severn, and body slams him. And right then you see Jeremy go, and then he starts looking for me. Like, giving me the eye. Yeah. And so I'm like this.
I'm telling.
I can't look at him. And then it goes on, and then pretty soon they go over the ropes and land on the table, and then on the cement. I mean, holy shit. And Severn gets back in the ring, and they count Brad out, and that's how the fight ends. And I mean, we got so much praise for how good that show was and how incredible the thing was. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, everybody bought it. I mean, there were 10 goods to every one bad. And both of them have done a lot of pro wrestling. So, but normally we're not, our fighters are not actors. The more you ask them to act, it's almost like we've all been told, Chris, you've been told, go out there and carry this guy a little bit, or don't
get some work in.
We were trying to, ask where the official scale was. And so we asked Paulo Romero, like, hey, where's the scale? It was me, Tito, and Jeff. So we go up to the room, it's the day before, and step on the scale. And it's like literally 15 pounds over. And I had just made 170, and it says I weigh like 184, 185. I'm like, oh, hell no. Because on the triple beam downstairs, there's a triple beam that we could weigh, and I made weight, right? So the official scale was like a freaking bathroom scale you buy from Walmart for $4.99. So we're like, what the hell are we using this for? She goes, nope, that's the scale they gave me. That's the official one. And so I climbed up on top of the bathroom sink. And I jumped up in the air and jumped down, landed on the scale. Boing, the spring broke. And that was the way it was then. And back then, Chris knows this, and the way the weigh-ins were just everybody got in a line, and you cut in line as fast as you could to weigh in. And so the next morning when the weigh-ins are, it's Tito gets in first. I'm like, then somebody else, and I'm third, and then Jeff, and then Matt Hughes weighs it, and he's like, well, this is kind of off. I knew to lean forward, and then Kondo gets on it, and then right then the Japanese freak out, like, dong, 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 like, what's going on here? The scale. By this time, we're just everyone's looking, we're down in Gatorade. We're like, oh, scale is what it was. So we got away with it. But it really was, they were trying to cheat. I believe this, that they were trying to make it so Tito missed weight. So they had the scale all adjusted the wrong way, to make it so Tito didn't make weight against Yuki, or made it harder for him to make weight.
Did Hughes make weight for that event?
Yeah.
Dude, it would have been great if he didn't.
Because everybody made weight for the event because we broke the scale.
You actually fought it with a Whizzinator in your cup to like present the test because you were worried. Is that true?
It is true.
That's awesome.
So now, we don't want to implicate everybody there, but was Holman in your corner? Who's helping you do this? And where'd you get clean piss?
So yeah, sorry, there we go. So I had been off for a while, but I couldn't. It's a UFC title. I couldn't take the chance, and so yeah, I did get a Whizzinator. I got clean pee from, I think, one of my friends I had a bunch of people I paid for to come. I go, make sure you don't have pot. You didn't do nothing. You had a bunch of people that had done pot and stuff that couldn't give me clean pee, but I got clean pee. I fought with the Whizzinator.
So Jeff, like, if you're gonna fight with the Whizzinator, why even bother being clean at the day of the event?
Well, no, if I get it correctly, he thought he was clean, but because
you know, he was doing fighting, he was trying to stay clean, but because it was the UFC title and there's a cycle, he was sort of worried about it, so he was playing it safe. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just didn't want to get like, you know, I mean, because maybe something happened that I couldn't use the Wizinator or something, like they tested, or like they watched you take off your clothes. I didn't know how it worked, like because it was getting tighter and tighter, you know, like with the testing. So I didn't know. I just had to be sure 100%. So like if I couldn't use the Wizinator, I'd still have the probability I would have passed the test anyway, because I'd been off a while, like, and I'd been training without it and expecting not to, you know, to test positive. But anyway, I tested negative because I hurt my rib at the fight. He broke my rib with a knee in the first round or the third round. And I went to the hospital afterwards, and they ended up taking my blood. And so that's how they tested me, because I was in the hospital, and they just tested for the blood. And so, yeah, I came back clean anyway.